in all honesty? Jono, I'm really, really happy with my watch collection as it stands. I mean, yes, of course, I miss my annual calendar. I love that watch, right? However, I got a lot of money for it, and the person who bought it, he also got a good buy as well. He got a mint box papers everything piece, right? It's that watch is a fucking collector's item. It is a fucking $50,000 watch for fucking half that, right? Which is, look, I got a good deal, he got a good deal, we're both happy, but I got to tell you something, okay? I've now moved into, I've still got one Patek, I still got my Reverso, that's my dress watches.
You've got 9 watches now, haven't you?
Actually, 8, because I've got the Calatrava, I got the Reverso, right? So I got Calatrava, Reverso, I've got the Datejust, I've got the Explorer 2, the Submariner, the Tudor, I've got the AP, and I've also got the Breguet. So that's 8, right? And I got to tell you, Johnny, the Breguet and the AP, they're both away for service, right? So 3 Rolexes and a Tudor. You could almost say it's 4 because Tudor is a Rolex subsidiary company. You know what I mean?
You know what makes me respect Tudor?
What's that?
The Japanese like them.
Look, they are very, very. I reckon that I would much rather have a Tudor than a Tag Heuer. You know what I mean? I would really. When it gets to Omega, that's a hard one. I reckon Tudor. See, you look at your Speedmaster. Horologically speaking, if I had one watch, right, I can tell you, I wouldn't want the Tudor. I'd want the fucking Speedmaster. But because they got so many, I can have the luxury of saying, well, I just like the funkiness of it. But if I had one classic watch, I'd definitely have to get the Speedmaster. And I kind of think, you know, in honesty there, John, I'm really happy.
Down the track with the Speedmaster, I'd like you to write down exactly what it is and write down all the history of it. Because I want to do that for all my watches.
Yes, that's a...
I want to put it in a book to give to them.
Yes, of course. That is a beautiful piece. And let me just tell you there, you know, the attention to detail on that is like no other. I don't know if you know this, but inside that watch, it's got a dust cover. So the movement doesn't... Yeah, on the movement, it's actually got a dust cover. It's just so fucking... It's not a... It's a watch that a lot of thought has gone into. And I got to tell you, John, but with my current collection, right, I'm really happy. I got 4 usable watches.
You don't need, you know, an Omega Man on the moon. You sort of, you know, like, to have that in your collection. I know it's a classic piece and all that, but you're making a particular personal statement. And that's unique to you. You know, once you start, you know, like, all right, you've got, you know the Rolex Submariner no date, right? That, in my opinion, makes a particular statement. You know.
Oh, I love that watch.
If I was to have a Rolex, that's the one I'd have. You know?
Yes, I understand exactly what you're saying.
It's a statement watch.
Oh, it's great.
You know, but, you know, I understand why you prefer the Tudor in your collection as opposed to having the Omega.
Well, you know, I tell you the truth, horologically speaking, the Omega's a much better watch, but for me, I kind of like the funkiness. And I tell you now, Johnny, now that I've actually started selling a bit of stuff off, right?
Yeah.
I'm kind of thinking, well, I'm actually, Johnny, my credit card addiction, I've handled that. What I've done is, right, I've actually stopped buying crap. Well, not crap, but I've stopped spending money. I said no to the camera, because remember I told you that I was going to buy a vintage Nikon camera? I don't really need one. That's $400, $500. When I was talking to my friend, it was going to be about $200 to $250. Suddenly it's blown out to $450 for a really nice one. Jono, that's too expensive. It's money. I'll never use the bloody thing. It's just a... Okay, because who uses film? So that I said no to that. I said to him, I'm sorry. I said to him, well, I didn't lie to him. I said, look, unfortunately, I've had to give a refund on my Breguet. So that is true. My friend who was selling the cricket bats, I said to him, I'm sorry, I don't want them. I said, I'm not doing, financially, I said, it's not a good idea for me to buy them. My wife wanted to put solar on the house. I said to her, no, I don't want to do that because it's better to pay the credit cards off and then we can look at solar down the track. As you said, Johnny, the technology in solar is getting better all the time. The other thing is too, Johnny, I have really, you put some money in for the Speedmaster. I actually rang the bank up. You put the money in on Friday. I rang them up Saturday morning and I reduced my limit by that $500. My limit on that card now is 4,200, and that started off at $6,000. You put in, when you put the 1,300 in, right? I rang them up and said, please reduce my limit to 4,700, and then I've actually reduced it further for the five. As soon as you put the money in, next day I rang them up and say, please reduce my limit, and it's down now to 4,200. And the reason I'm doing that is just in case something crops up, and I just thought, no, that money needs to reduce the card, and I never want to see that. I want to cancel that card. You understand, John? I don't want to buy nothing else. And that's what I'm doing. So I actually starting to feel relieved because I am moving, and I'm not looking on the internet. The best thing too is, Johnny, I got to stop looking at other watch vendors and seeing what's for sale because that makes me want to buy stuff. So I've sort of stopped myself. So what did you see tonight? Hello, I'm Archie Luxury and welcome to the program. And today I'd like to promote my good friends WatchTech. That's right, WatchTech, a new concept founded by the makers of Brisbane Vintage Watches. And WatchTech is an independent service centre of the highest order. And traditionally, watch repair centres were in back alleyways, up staircases, out of sight, out of mind, unprofessional. Well, WatchTech takes the business of servicing and repairing your watch to a new level. And I gotta say, I like what I see. WatchTech, an independent wristwatch service centre located right in the heart of Brisbane CBD. WatchTech, Archie Luxury highly recommends. And I gotta tell you, I'm good friends with the guys at WatchTech. Whether you are having trouble taking a bracelet off or adding a link, or, whether you're taking in an heirloom piece for a complete restoration and overhaul, WatchTech are the guys to help you out. And I gotta tell you, all the staff at WatchTech have been handpicked by Ronnie and Luke, and they are enthusiasts. They are there because they love wristwatches and they want to give friends with the same hobby the due care and respect that they deserve. And I gotta tell you, if you are looking to get your piece serviced, bring it on in to WatchTech. And I'm very, very proud to be associated with WatchTech. And WatchTech also has a few pieces on display, a few vintage pieces for sale. And they are tied together with the Brisbane Vintage Watch and Sydney Vintage Watch brands. And if you want if you've got a beautiful watch, and let's be honest there, a fine wristwatch is like a fine automobile. It needs routine maintenance and repairs. And I can think of no one better than WatchTech to take your luxury wristwatch, or even your heirloom pieces too. And it's not just high-end Pateks, Audemars Piguet, Vacherons, Rolexes, Jaeger-LeCoultres, Breguets that WatchTech takes care of. They can also look after Seikos, Omegas, Tag Heuers, and many other brands. So the good guys at WatchTech not only look at luxury prestige watches, but they are able to work on watches of all calibers. And I will tell you this now, the prices that WatchTech charges is very, very reasonable. They do a lot of work that the big names don't touch. They do restoration work, they do a multitude of brands, and the quality of work achieved by these people is true craftsmanship of the first order. I'm Archie Luxury, and I'm very proud to be associated with WatchTech. Nice one, Archie. You tell those fuckers.